Hi, everyone. This is another event from our Startup Connect series, is building your network remotely. Uh, Working from home can be handsome. You have more freedom, more flexibility. You don't have to commute. But when you are doing the bulk of your work from home, your day-to-day routine isn't exactly full of opportunities to meet new people. On this event, we invited Rita Pelica,
Thank
which
you.
is Rita Pelica. We are going to find what she thinks about these new challenges of digital disruption, how this impacts in organizations, in our lives, and let's get started. Let's understand a bit more about Rita. Rita is a professional networker, I would say. It's NetWeaver, it's a curious mind. She works with companies, with professionals, helping them on their careers, but also working with companies with challenges of having the teams motivated, with a focus on training programs, with a couple of projects that she is involved with, and we are going to talk a bit more about that later. Rita, with we can think that you have a day with more than 24 hours when you see all things that you are involved. It is a lot of projects, a lot of challenges. How can you do everything you do every day?
Oh gosh, thank you, Carlos, for the invitation and for being here with you and regarding this topic and answering directly to the question. So my day has also 24 hours. It's enough. Thank God it's enough. And I really need to choose quite well what I really intend to do. So the biggest secret is choose well what you are doing. So put your focus and your energy on what matters the most to you. So I really find discipline and focus on the things that I'm doing. I could do a lot more things, much more things, but I'm not interested in doing that. So, in fact, I deliberately choose what I'm going to do each day. So I review my days. I plan ahead, of course, but sometimes planning fails, and that's okay. I adapt, and I need to readapt my agenda and to put new things in agenda and to get rid of some others. But I'm quite calm in doing that. I must say that in the beginning of this pandemic status in March, April, it was quite awful because I had so much to do, so many plans, so many organizations and things and expectations, and then boom, all the agenda
Everything changes.
gone, everything gone and disappeared. So I had to deal, like some of you, I might guess, with an empty agenda. So the drama of the white sheet, an empty agenda. I've never had an empty agenda. So with so much to do, so many incredible things and people to meet. So I really wanted to cry. I cried. I cried. Of course, I cried. My business disappeared. What else could I do? And in fact, it was a shock because all my business and all my activities, non-profit activities, let's say, were most of them were in person, face to
yeah,
face,
yeah,
real life.
yeah,
And then,
yeah. Social networking is social based. Is social interaction. It's
it's
completely,
human.
completely bound with the fact of being able to interact and to meet and um, to have presence, physical presence in
Hmm.
events, in meetings, in um,
Yeah,
everything that happens in the agenda, in the common agenda that the ecosystem um, shares. So how about the companies? How you express your personal case, your company or your agenda, your professional agenda
my
uh,
life.
disappeared because the activity, the financial activity, the commercial activity of your company also disappeared, almost disappeared. Um, this is a reality faced by
Many.
many companies. A very big percentage of companies in all the economies in all the countries. This this is one of the aspects of the pandemics. The other aspect is how the companies reacted in a way that allows them to continue to work, to continue
Hmm.
to deliver what they supposed to deliver to their clients in a situation where their employees have to stay home and some of the tasks, some of the jobs are quite difficult to do remotely.
Hmm.
Um, this varies from sector to sector, but uh, for for some sectors it's completely impossible. For other sectors, it is possible, but the but companies struggle to do that because everything has been changing in this digital disruption for the past few years. But last year, things really changed. Things stopped being a possibility, and they suddenly were a reality. People cannot come to the office anymore right now, and we have to decide if we close the business, we close the activity, or if we are going to come up with a solution to keep working and keep delivering. Um, this 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 situation find the companies unprepared to respond to that. But there were lots of articles and work done uh, on the benefits and advantages of the digital disruption and
Hmm.
the, the and to find um,
Alternatives.
ways alternatives for remote work. Why company, in your opinion, why companies are so unprepared?
Because they
Because it,
choose to. Because they choose to. Because because now they are paying what they in fact they were doing during the last years. Because when you talk about the digital transformation, some might still think that it's about technology, that it's about giving new computers to the people. And the relevant part is that digital transformation and digital, it's a mindset. So we were not working with the mindset, people's mindset, with their capabilities on their education, digital education, tech education. So things were really failing because at the moment, people, it was mandatory to go home, and people go home. So even though they might don't have the skill set and the mindset, everybody was it was mandatory to go home. So you didn't choose, because if you could choose, you would not do this. So it was not their option, but it happened. So it happened. It's in fact where we are, and in fact, surprisingly, most there are lots of things that we do in our lives, in our work, that can be done remotely. Surprise. Some
Yeah,
others don't, or it's not the same. Even though it's not the same, Carlos, we can't say, for instance, for education and for training, and training is my business, so I of course I can say it's not the same. It will
yeah,
never be the same, but the experience has improved because
yeah,
we have technology, better tools, better platforms. We have Zoom, Teams, this and that, murals, whatever. We have too much information these days. So I think we are having a different problem these days, which is which tools, which platforms to choose, because now we need to learn to
yeah,
learn to adapt or die, because if we can't choose, we need to be here. So not being here on the screen, you
yeah,
might die and
yeah.
disappear.
Yeah, the learning curve. The learning curve is exists, of course,
Hmm.
and exists for each one of the tools
Yeah,
we use. If you have different tools for different things. For some meetings, you are using Zoom. For other, for teaching, you are using Microsoft or Google platforms,
hmm,
or other platforms. Each one of those interactions needs a learning curve, and needs to uh, it is imperative that the professional has the ability to learn
to learn
to.
those, that learnability, let's say. And it was painful, I must say that. And I could observe that in some cases it was painful. It
Yeah,
was painful for people to learn and to deal with a lot of things. And for instance, I can give you my example. It's not in the case of pain, but my learning experience in the classrooms and in meeting rooms was without PowerPoints, without technology, completely as an option, no technology, because we really wanted to put it on a more human experience, so an analog. And now I needed to redesign business and get the PowerPoints or the praises or whatever, or the, so it was in fact not only the learning, but the transformation, the business transformation to something. And that even in my mind, I thought I would never, how can I not be in a classroom? How can I,
yeah,
or how could I do this in a different way? But I had a dream. I had a dream one day to be a digital nomad, and the dream of working from, not specifically from home and without freedom, but
yeah.
working from the
Everywhere,
beach or from
from everywhere.
wherever, any part of the world. And yes, because this is a reality. This is not science fiction anymore. So and now I can say I can do that. I
It
can
was
do that.
it was a reality for a couple of activities, and we all know digital nomads that
Hmm.
work on their activities anywhere else they choose.
Mm-hmm.
But we are talking about a little percentage of professionals.
Of course, it's a sample, little sample.
Digital nomads are mainly from a specific generation.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this reality impacts the lives of
The
everyone of us.
lifestyle.
We have different activities and um, different abilities and different
Mm-hmm.
skills, and sometimes we share the same job. We have the same job. Um, Having 50 years old and 30 years old, and we have different skills and different ability to perform the same job. And the way we are able to use the platforms and
Mm-hmm.
the new tools provided to perform that job are going to be assessed in different ways. If we have 50 years old or 60 years old or 30 years old, the organizations have to find a way to manage that, and that is very important because this impacts the 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 remote work, the potential for remote work impacts um, in different ways, uh, in different tasks and activities, not
Mm-hmm.
occupations. The same
Yeah.
job is performed the same way when you are doing that physically, but it's not performed the same way when you do it remotely. You give
And
the
that's the
example.
beauty.
Yeah, yeah.
That is,
It's a new world. It's a new
that
world.
is the beauty, because you can really rethink work and the way you work. You can be a smart worker because you can find ways to do it faster and in a different way. So even you might be expecting your company to give you the instructions about work,
Yeah,
when you in fact should expect space for you to redesign the way you work
yeah,
in the timeline that you have defined, as long as you deliver. So this idea of improving our abilities and being more entrepreneurial, more creative, it's in fact mandatory these days for the creative workers, because the way you do things.
yeah, yeah. Because distance highlights the autonomy and the self
Yes,
governance, and you have,
accountability.
yeah,
Yes,
it's in your
responsibility.
hands. It's in your hands. You have
Take care.
a new possibility, a new set of possibilities. You can do it. You can do it in your way, a bit more freely, that in relation to the previous situation where you were in a fixed structured
Yeah.
mindset, and you the, there there are new ways of planning work and organize work and the distribution of work. Teams have
Self-organization, as you're mentioning,
yeah,
self-government. But
teams
this is
have
a challenge, Carlos, because for me and you, and for this entrepreneurial community that I must, I believe that some of them might be here with us. It's obvious. It's obvious that we need autonomy. We don't need control. We need autonomy, because we are responsible for the things that we are doing and that we are delivering. But let's be realistic and thinking about the Portuguese market, the companies. What do we observe? Some people really, they need instructions. when they move from the office to their houses, they are completely lost in translation. So now what am I supposed to do? How can I organize work and this and that? So they need instruction. Some people need instructions, and some companies love to give instructions and to control, and that's why you have Zoom meetings from 9 to 5. People these days have, in fact, more meetings. You have the meetings, and then you still have to do the work. So of
Yeah.
course you end up your day completely tired and overwhelmed with meetings and conversations, and you are exhausted, because sometimes it really it doesn't depend on you. It could depend on you, but sometimes it's the mindset. It's not only the technology, like I was mentioning. So you need new leaderships, you need a new management, new ways of to manage teams. You need to create space, and people need to know what to do with that space. So it's not so obvious, it's not so simple, it's not linear, it's complex, it's complexity, in fact.
Yeah, because the managers and the supervisors are remote also. They are
Yeah,
dealing with their self problem
and
also.
they are nervous, they are
Yeah,
anxious because they
yeah,
can't see their own people.
yeah. And the KPIs and
A KPI. Yeah,
the structure and the objectives keep pushing them forward, and they are struggling with their own
they need to
insecurity.
learn, and adapt. So there are so many topics, like you were mentioning, the self-organization. You can think about sociocracy, you can talk about agility, we can talk a lot about different methodologies, and that's not the future, it's the present. We need it now.
Yeah. Uh, we need it, and we are bound to that because this reality, it's not just for the time of the pandemic. We need
No.
to work on
And
reality
the
for
new normal, the beautiful
yeah.
expression. Oh, we want to get back. We will not get back. At least it's my assumption that we will not. We will never be like we were before. But we still need to learn and to relearn. To relearn. I don't know if it will be something better or not. It will be different, I'm sure. And we need to rethink things. It's, in fact, I think it's a great opportunity for us as human beings, as professionals, to use this opportunity to work with better in our life, in our work-life balance or integration. Let's say we might not find a balance. Maybe should we have a balance or not balance? It might. How do we separate? We don't. I don't. Or I have one life, and I'm managing. I'm struggling every day with the kids. Now, thank God, the schools are open. I don't know for how many, for how long. But
Yeah.
even the working from home, it's a different experience with kids, with family, with everything. So it's totally chaos. So managing chaos, and we can't separate because everything
Yeah,
it's happening
but
in the same space.
I think the same devices. I was thinking about uh, the separation from the personal life from the work. We are using the same devices. We have our phones constantly buzzing around us with all the interactions, all the alerts and notifications from all the tools that we have to be connected. Be connected all the time. It can't be
It's a
good for us.
choice.
It can't be good for us, don't you think?
It's a choice. I think to be connected all the time. It's a choice. And what I was mentioning, when we separate, I think we have one life, and we have different modes. Of course, we are here. I am here working. I wasn't picking up the kids at school. I choose, and I need to learn to live with it. That's okay. But
Yeah,
the way we separate, of course, we need to, at some point, we need to choose to turn off this. Don't read emails after 10 o'clock at night. Don't work at weekends, this and that. So you choose, you draw your limits. Because
yeah,
if you don't draw your limits, someone will draw it for you. And of course, it's quite easy for me and for you and for those who have their own business to think like this. But when you work
they
for a company,
they
how do
are
you establish?
trying. They are trying to
Yeah,
draw the limit where it is useful for them.
yeah, because
The
this is not
same
the
with you.
urgency. This is not the urgency. So we need to keep calm and carry on. Because if you don't pause at some point in time, if you don't pause, we are accelerating so much and this and that. Everything is happening so fast, and if you don't
Yeah,
pause, button pause, and to play it again and accelerate again, if you don't take care of you.
yeah, because you already have. This is an has to be seen as an opportunity, as you said. We have the now the ability to do more things and to do things with more impact or a more wide impact. As you say, you can teach a class of 10, 20 people in a classroom, and you can make a class, a virtual class with thousands of people at the same time, all around the world, with different realities. And you are doing the same work. You are using the same time. So it is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for you with a class, but it
Mhm.
is an opportunity to almost every other occupation. Uh, but if you have in your hands a new world to discover on new products and new services and new
New
potential
people, new businesses.
potentially
Yeah.
profitable new profitable products that you have at your disposal right now. You also have the potential of having a more flexible agenda. You don't have to commute, so you don't have
Mhm.
of the times 1 or 2 hours a day on commuting. You don't have to have your lunch hour scheduled by the rules of the companies. You don't have to be on certain events that you don't need to be, but because the company schedule that for you, you have to be there. So you have, in theory, more time or a more effective way to optimize your time. So it is your choice to keep
Mhm.
your work time separated from your personal time, because you are just one person. You keep
Yeah.
responding, and you keep um, try to achieve success every time you are challenged for that. So if you keep answering your phone, and if you keep
It will
uh,
never stop.
responding
They will never let you go.
to the
So it.
emails, they will never stop. So it is what it is. Uh, this is the most important thing I think you have to understand. But this is a game in your minds, in the minds of every single one of us, because we are different. We are more or less able to deal with the changing patterns in our lives. We respond differently in different situations because sometimes we are tired, we are struggling for so long sometimes for to achieve
We have
something.
always an option, Carlos. I think you're talking about this idea of living by choice. I truly believe that we can live by choice. We do choices every day. We take decisions. It's about choices. So living by choice and not by chance. So if things are they are in fact in your hand, and let me share. 4 years ago, I quit my job after working 20 years in the corporate world. I thought, I've had enough. That's too much for me. So I want to do different things, and I really want to appreciate life in a different way. And of course, now I work even more. But it was my choice. I'm okay with that, and I'm happy. And if in fact my company is called On You and with a finger on you, because I really believe that each one of us has a responsibility in the process, and specifically in your life, the way you live your life. Because if you are unhappy doing the things that you do, so why do you stay there? Oh, I need to work. Okay, but you can work on something that you like, that you love, or that you don't love. It's your choice. So don't complain. You choose. If you want to stay there and don't complain. If you don't want to stay there, go and search for something else that you really like the most. So who is the most interested part in the process of your life? If it's not you, who is it?
Yeah,
So at some point we need to wake up and to I really would like to believe that this all this process during this year, people turn more conscious about life and what we were doing with our lives, and we are now we might be enjoying working from home. I know it was not amazing. It was not amazing in March, in April, with kids, with flash call, and no, it wasn't. It was
yeah,
awful. Sorry, I've been there, done
yeah, yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah,
now, January 2021, I can feel the comfort of being in my new office and this and that. And I was already working from home sometimes, preparing things, classes, and I was complaining that I wanted to be at home more time.
yeah,
It was not this that I had in mind. But I had an office, I had this and that. So I wasn't working from the kitchen or in the sofa and this and that. So I really had an office. And then bam, this happened. And now most of us or some of us have think that, okay, so we can work like this. So it's not about going to the office.
yeah,
And sometimes people say, oh, but when I quit my job, one of the things that people asked me the most was, Rita, don't you miss your colleagues? And
no,
no, but some of them, the social connection, I must say, because
yeah,
I was present in some other groups, communities,
yeah,
networks, and I was really finding this connection, this relationship in some other communities. So
yeah,
what we can imagine from this, Carlos, is that people now they know that they didn't have a life outside the office.
yeah,
And how can we get these connections outside, even reconnecting with family and friends? So
yeah,
it's time to reconnect, in fact.
yeah. But I understand that perfectly because you and I, we always had an ecosystem outside the companies where we work. I work for several companies at the same
We
time.
work together. Remember, in the
Yeah,
early,
yeah. Uh, not so long ago because we are young.
we are
We
so
only have
young.
30 years each one.
Yeah.
So uh, you are well known as a networker and a networking fan. You believe on the concept. Um, what is to be a networker? Which characteristics define a networker? What does it mean to be a good networker? Tell me about networking,
The
Rita.
secrets. Um, I really prefer these days, after knowing this concept, I really prefer the term net weaving. Net
Netweave.
weaving
Okay.
or net weaver, because it's about relationships. It's about trust. It's about helping other, and it's about, that's why it's so human. This is in fact a human skill. This is not about going to events and to eat and drink some cocktails, some fancy cocktails, and to go to some fancy places. It's not about that, exchanging business cards, not just that. So it's really something more human. It's about being observing and paying attention to people and being there for people to help them. And for me, there's one thing that is the giver's gain. I really like to give. Maybe this is something selfish. I think being a networker, it's something selfish because you feel good. For me, I feel good. I really feel good when I help, when I can help you, some other people, sometimes strangers. It's awful. Don't talk to strangers. And I really like to help strangers. When I was in the streets of Lisbon, helping the tourists, doing this and that, and having conversations, or sometimes conversation happens. So it's starting a conversation.
Yeah.
So being observing, being observative, being a good communicator, but taking care about people, showing that you care, that you really care. And
Yeah.
it's been so interesting for me. I've been paying attention to this topic for more than 10 years. And in fact, it has been a surprise, the number of good people that I know. Some people that I really know now, I can call my friends. People that I met in events. I can thinking about the first Ignite, the how was it called, that the Star Trekker, the so big huge events. And yeah, but at at the end, you have the people, you have the person, and you have the relationship. So building relationship, this connection,
The,
it's
con-
about
the,
that for me.
the connection conducts to the relationship.
Of course, with trust, building trust. It's about trust.
Yeah. Uh, of course, this is a time, a very difficult time to do that. We cannot interact with people
In person.
in person, and it is more difficult to have those random conversations and those interactions.
It's
You have
different.
to use. You have to use. You have to have a strategy, not a strategy, a conduct of
Hmm. Ethics and
making
yeah.
connections, using LinkedIn, using other social networks. You have to do it. You have to go for it. You have to want to go for it.
You need
Uh,
to have the intention, Carlos. I think
yeah,
when you talk about strategy, I would say you need to do things with an intention, because we can do it. And I think, oh, thank God we have the internet. Thank God we have LinkedIn. Thank God we have, because we could be worse, in fact. So we can still connect. It's a different connection. It's a different experience, but we can do that. I have been having those kind of experience from people from Asia and Hong Kong and Brazil, and but real things, the things are really happening. So I think that even though people are completely apart, physically apart, I think that mentally people are more available to be closer digitally. So it's easy. I would say, for me at least, my experience, it's been easier to interact, to connect, and to establish something with people, even business opportunities.
yeah.
So this is
Because
real. This
it
is
is
not a.
it is safer, don't you think? It is. Uh, I, I am very easy on the social interaction, so it is easy for me to talk with anyone on the street, on an event like you,
You
or
have the
even in a
mindset, but you
restaurant.
have the mindset, and
Yeah,
you have the open mind. You
but
are
it is that is not for everyone. Some
no,
people
no.
struggle to approach other people in a social event without knowing him or without being introduced by another person.
You
Uh,
still have it
for
in
us,
the
for us, it is more or less easy. But in this new reality, you have a more security state. You are distant. Uh, the most drastic or dangerous thing that could happen is the other person on the other side close the connection,
it's a
close the
fake
call,
person. Yeah,
or it is a fake person. But
or fake profiles. Yeah,
it is more secure for the introverted people, for the people with less
skills.
traditional social skills. So it is also an opportunity there.
It might be. I would say it might be. So like this filter, and you can. Yeah, it might be. But even though you still have to respect and to have the netiquette. So it's about ethics. It's about a lot of things that you really you were dealing with in the real life. And now that you need to take care also in this online world. But it might be easier. But you still need you still have to have the will to do that. You need to be mentally available and be focused, because now I think that everything it's all there. So you have the world at the distance of a click. You can do this and that. So how can you focus and not having exploring too much, and focus on what really matters and on business and real life, and so you might feel trapped. Sometimes I feel it, because, oh Rita, I wanted to set up a meeting with you and this and that. Oh no, too many meetings now. So limits.
Yeah.
And you really need to understand what matters, what is important, because at some point you can live in the internet. You can have your job and be the digital networker and the social network, and you go early in the morning and you do some contacts and this and that, and but it's too much. So we need to find this balance again of things, because for maybe for people like us, it's a temptation to explore in this and that, and there's a world. So at the end, you find yourself with 25 windows open, and it's um it's a
I understand.
temptation.
I
Yeah.
understand that it is overwhelming sometimes because we uh, we have invites all the time to connect from random people around the world, and sometimes uh, in the past, I used to have an open approach for that, and everyone that sent me a connection invitation,
Invitations.
I would probably accept everyone. Now I have a different
Perspective.
perspective, and sometimes I do not accept the connection
Yeah.
because it's the way you say. Most probably after the connection, I will receive an interaction from that person. They want something. They want to interact with me with a personal agenda, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes most of the times um, I don't have time for their
for
agenda
that, or their
because
hidden agenda, because sometimes we can even find hidden agendas, which is even worse. So
yeah, yeah.
we need to take
So
care. I'd say we
yeah,
need to take care and to filter and to develop some critical thinking and really understand, because the time is what is the most valuable thing for us these days. It's time. Our
yeah,
time is valuable and scarce. So we need to to use it for do the things that we really want to do.
yeah.
So all the rest.
And that it's probably an advice also for the ones who want to understand how to be a networker and how to do networking.
Mhm.
uh, when you do try to connect with someone on the internet, um, understand that their agenda and your agenda has to be has to be has to
Common.
have
We need to find something in common.
a
Yeah.
common interest somehow. If you don't think that the other person could have a common interest with you, um, it is not
It's not
wise.
networking. It's something else, Carlos. It's
It's
something
something else.
else.
Yeah.
So,
But it's about trust, as you said before. It's about trust. It's about having something to help the other person, having something to have to their life, their professional activity, or something else. If that is the reason for the connection, the other person would accept to enjoy some time with you, to to have an interaction, a positive interaction, and you gain a friend, sometimes a tutor,
mhm.
a mentor, a partner,
Yeah.
whatever. Um, fantastic, fantastic interactions could emerge from there. You spoke about your company on you. Uh, I am a fan of uh, the things that that you do on your company. I know some of the projects that you have, like the business model you and the Lego Serious Play. Tell us a bit about what you do on the company, about this more specific projects, and how
Mhm.
you use it to work with the companies and to work with the teams, because I find it inspirational, at least.
Okay, thank you, Carlos. So in fact, what have I been doing is training. I've been delivering trainings and facilitation and some mentoring, and with the purpose to empower people in order to make them more entrepreneurial, more playful, and more conscious about their own soft skills. So I've been doing that in companies, so executives in companies and in schools. And for that, I have my own toolkit. Let's say I have my Lego Serious Play methodology, the business model U, and liberating structures, some other methodologies in which I invite people to participate and to build, to co-create the sessions with me. So each session, each event, each meeting is unique because people are really building content with me. So I use these, let's say, different methodologies. And I was using that essentially, I would say 98% of the time in class, in person. And in March, April, I really had the challenge to redesign my business model and to start to deliver my my learning experiences, let's say, in an online format. It was hard at the beginning because even the companies, they were not so used to that. But companies, they still want to train people on communication, leadership, entrepreneurship, team management, and so on. So I really had the opportunity to design new programs with these new formats in which we still have the Legos. For instance, today I had a session. There were 35 people. I delivered a kit of Legos to each one of these persons, and they were all over Portugal, north to south. And we use that material to produce content to this communication program. So people build, they work on creativity, critical thinking, communication. They're doing a lot, and they are in fact a part of the session, and they were building together. And that is in fact awesome when you see people participating and taking charge of things and having fun. So it's about those are called the serious games because you are playing, and when you are playing, you are flowing, you are enjoying it so much, and you are learning, and you are connecting and engaging with the team. So for me, one of my concerns these days is how can I have more engaged teams? And this is a concern for companies, how to engage people and how can we manage their own motivation because they are separated, they are working from home and this and that, they are missing their colleagues. So we can really work on a collaboration, team spirit, engagement, because people need this. So you can work on with some topics, but at the same time you are having fun, you are playing. And this is quite, I think that's what makes the difference from these experiences from on you. People are really a part of the session, and they are also producing content. And then you have the output. We have some other tools, for instance, like Mentimeter, like things that some polls, some surveys. You are doing things, and you are seeing it in real time, the collaboration output. And it's amazing because people, because people, they don't really believe in their own capabilities. People don't think they are creative. People are so, they are not self-confident. And it's quite interesting when you can work on self-confidence with these people. And even when we are talking about people from finance and human resources and insurance, you say, oh no, Rita, no, I'm not very creative. Of course not. I work in a bank. How? So this is like a myth. And people, they are really doing this to themselves. They don't believe in themselves. So stop and believe in you and your own capabilities. We are not perfect. We are not perfect. None of us. But still, we can always improve and do better. So that is my purpose with On You, to help to improve in this journey that we call life, and through these learning experiences with Legos, sometimes without Legos, sometimes without anything. Just
you send them in the Lego kits individually to
yes,
their
we have
homes.
yes. We
Perfect.
can do that. I've been having some problems because with these days logistics can be awful. And for instance, for when you do it abroad, it's hard. I did a session in December, and some people were in Lithuania, and they didn't get the Legos. But one of the girls said, Rita, but don't, it's not a problem. I'm going to send one of the guys to IKEA, and he's going to buy a little kit. You know that IKEA, they have a small kit of 200 bricks.
Yes.
And they were there, and they bought a little kit for those who were there, and they had their own kit. But if they don't have the kit, we could do that with Playmobil. We could do that with anything. So it's about creativity, guys. So we could manage it. But
it's also
yes,
problem solving. Yeah.
it's also, of course, and innovation and all of that. So
Yes.
you have the tools, and you invite people to, you challenge them, and people really, I think people need to be challenged.
Yeah, and need to understand that they keep keep being part of something.
Yes,
Common,
yes,
because when you go every day work to in your company, you see the colleagues, you feel part of something. You are part of the group. When you are at home, you tend to be isolated, and
yeah. It's
you have to.
mentally, it's harder. So how
Yeah,
do you keep with a? I always play with that, and I say, smells like team spirit in the
yeah,
house, and we have a laugh, and it's fun, and in fact, I think we can these days we can use technology and we can use different tools to re-energize. I think we can really use this word to re-energize teams and
yeah,
feeling them, making them feel that they're still connected, even though they have this social distance, but we can still connect and establish some connections. For instance, imagine, Carlos, now how companies are doing the onboardings, people that are entering teams and they really don't know anybody else in the team. It's what it is. What can we do? What can we do? We can't. So we need to rethink this employee experience is the beginning in this onboarding, not only the recruiting, but uh, thank God we have the tools and we can do that wisely. But we need to learn. Of course, I learned so much this year. I know how to do so many new things these days. Uh, and it was my option. I could be with my hands and arms crossed, and oh, let's see. Let's hopefully this
yeah,
will pass, and
yeah.
but don't.
Um, yeah, it is. I think the most important message here is that this is an opportunity. Um, we know that before the crisis, before this pandemic, um, the the new ways of work, the new um, digital disruption was seen as an opportunity for companies to have different approaches and different ways of do business and um, do organizations more effectively, and
Mhm,
um, it was a good thing after the struggle of being uh, mandatory to be social distance. We have to regain that concept of
mhm,
new thing, but positive thing. We have more at our disposal in our hands. So um, we have to work on the tasks and understand those as different tasks for the same purpose. Uh,
mhm,
you talk about the onboarding. If we cannot receive the person on the company uh, with with the physical interaction, we have to find new ways uh, to help her feel welcome, to help her
of
feel
course.
integrated, feel in connection with the vision and the mission of the company. For some activities, um, it it will be more quick to embrace this new reality, the coaching, the counseling, the the activity, the financial activities, some areas. I read a study from McKinsey, a very interesting study that I can put the link description of
Mhm.
the video. They work with several professionals in several countries, and they understood the most difficult activities to do remotely, and they have an understanding that 25 to 30% of the activities can be done
Remotely.
as effectively as in person, but that is true only in certain countries, in certain
Mhm.
more evolved economies. So we have a long way to go. We have to do what we do best. That that is adapting. We can adapt quick. Human beings are um, very creative, very resourceful. We can do things differently um, by choice. We can decide that for ourselves, and we always look for the best for our lives, for our well-being. So I believe, and I know that you believe also, that we can grow stronger from this. We can go on our and continue our lives different, but better, different, better, and more and more well with our lives and with our families. I don't know if you want to say anything more to
Yeah,
our.
just I was laughing because I was hearing, and one of my mottos is in fact less but better. That's what really moves me these days. So trying to do less but better and to do more. So explore all the possibilities that I have, but in fact choosing what to do, what really delivers value. So we can still have focus and discipline and to achieve more. So to be more effective. So if I might say, and one of the most incredible books that I've read in the last years, it's called Essentialism. So what I'm really trying to be is someone essentialist that explores, eliminates what is not vital, and then focus and executes only what brings value. So less but better, not that old idea of less is more. Yes, it is, but less but better in the sense that we need to bring quality and to bring joy to our lives so we can really have time to work, to have fun, to do this, to do that. And that's what we call living. So it's in fact about living and not just surviving in these days where things are so hard, and we can how can we really enjoy these days and this thing called freedom, this apparently some this paradox of yeah. So enjoy life less but better, and keep calm, specifically keep calm and carry on, because there are things that we can't control. So let's focus on what we control, and at least we can try to control ourselves and
Yeah.
our capabilities. And
Yeah, and be close to others. Be always try to engage with others. Build relevant relationships with others, because that's what network is. It's builds relevant connections.
be
Uh,
kind. I say if you are kind,
yeah, yeah,
people will be kind with you. So I sometimes say, oh, I give so much of my time for pro bono projects,
yeah.
but what I get out of that, it's so much
It's
more.
the exact phrase I was I was
Sorry.
giving right now. It is give and you receive.
Yeah. And
It
it's
is
not about money, but
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not even about money. So it's about something so much bigger.
yeah,
And you will know what when you
yeah,
find it, you will know what I'm talking about, and this happiness that you can really get out from uh,
yeah.
giving something.
Yeah, that is the mindset we have in here, personally and professional. We are talking here in an event of Union Venture Builders is a cohort of experts and investors that are using their knowledge and expertise and resources to help startups grow and converting companies with high potential, and that's what we do. We connect, we work with people, we try to build better things. And um, by the way, if you are interested in this activity, check out our website. We have more content like this about building startups. And if you have a startup, if you have a project or an idea, and you think we can help you to develop that idea, send us information through our website, and we check it and we see if we can be useful. Thank you, Rita, for
Thank you so much,
your
Carlos,
insights
for the
and your
invitation.
knowledge and your advices, because they are priceless for me and for anyone
Thank you.
that knows you. And thank you
Pleasure. Let's
all
do this
for
in a real life when
yes, yes,
some
yes, yes.
some of
Uh,
some of these days.
yeah, this conversations are much more interesting when we are face to face. But this is now, and this is what we have, and it is great anyway. Thank you all for
Thank
watching
you.
us.
Thank you all.
We'll be back soon, so don't forget to subscribe our channel, our YouTube channel, to stay tuned, and don't forget, join the union. Bye bye.